Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial video on my YouTube channel. My name is Mr. Olu and this is Vix Tutorials. Okay guys, so in today's tutorial video I'll be showing you 3 new tricks that you can do with CorelDRAW, and you realize that CorelDRAW is more than just a tool for poster, flyers and logo designs. So we're going to create a new document. So I'll go back to my new document layer. I'll create a new document. I'm working with 200 by 200 millimeters. I'm working with RGB and my resolution is set to 300 dpi. I click OK and my workspace is up. So in this first phase, what I'm going to be teaching you is the blend tool. Okay, I'm going to be teaching you how to use the blend tool, because when many creatives hear the word blend tool, this is what comes to mind. But no, that is not what we'll be doing here today. Okay, we will not be doing this today. So now I'll be showing you how you can use the blend to easily create multiple elements in your design, which will let's say increase your workflow. So we're going to draw a line. Okay, now let's say we want to make a duplicate of this line till the bottom of the page. For example, let's say you want to make sure you want to create multiple lines to the bottom of this page. Now the regular creative will duplicate, the regular designer will duplicate, and this is the way they will do it. Is that not so? So now one thing you need to note is this can really be strenuous, because what if you're working in a larger piece of workspace and all that? Is this the step you're going to go? What if you want to make it 25? You want to make it, maybe let's say for example now this is 15, okay, and you want to make it 25. Normally you undo, then you start making duplicate again, and this can really limit your workflow. So the next thing the best way to do this is we're just going to undo and leave one line. So position it properly. Then what we just do is we drag this line and make a duplicate at the bottom of the page. We just make a duplicate at the bottom of the page. Then we head over to our blend tool. Okay, then when you head over to your blend tool, it's at the shadow panel. You head over to your blend tool, then you just drag one line to the other line. Now this is what is going to pop up. Don't be alarmed. That is, if you're like me before, don't be alarmed. Just go over to your blend objects and put in how many you want. Let's say we're working with let's say we want to work with 20. You see 20 lines has appeared. Easy peasy. Let's say we want to work with 25, for example. Just type in 25 and 25 lines will show. Now one thing I love about this blend tool also is that it enables you to easily create let's say whatever you're working with, the dimensions are the same. And also when you've done this kind of a thing, you don't even need to group. You don't need to press Ctrl G to group your elements. Everything is already grouped. So you can see that once you move one, you move in all of them. Everything is already grouped. So that's one thing I love about this, and each space is equal. Now let's say we want to work with a different tool. Let's say the text tool. Yes, it also applies to the text tool. So we're just going to write in blend tool. So we are going to increase and we are going to just put it in. Then we do the same thing, make a duplicate at the bottom of the page. So we just drag and make a duplicate at the bottom of the page. Then we go back to our blend tool and then we blend it together. Don't be alarmed. Go back to your blend object and let's say we want to work with 15. Okay, 15 is a bit too much because they are too closely together. Let's say 10. Now you see, easy peasy. This is how you can easily use the blend to easily create multiple elements in your workflow or in your design, which in turn increases your workflow. Let's say you're working with a design and you want to make different elements at the background. That's what we do. So we're going to go over to the next tool, which is the Sunburst Effect. I call it the wormhole effect or the hypnotic effect. People call it the Sunburst Effect. I call it the wormhole or the hypnotic. I just like giving things scientific names. Maybe it's just my love for science. So now you must have seen this software, but I'll also show you a new trick in which you can use in creating this. So now we are just going to create a layer. We're going to create a box to cover up our workspace. That is what will help us to do this. So we're going to make it 200 by 200 millimeters. So press P to align it to the workstation or to the workspace. So we'll go over to our shape tool. Now we have the circle, the ellipse, but this time around we are not working with any of them. We are not working with the polygon, but rather we are going to be working with the impact tool. Okay, now you click on impact tool, make sure you locate the center of your workspace, then you drag out while holding your shift key. You drag, make sure it comes out of the workspace, make sure it comes out of the workspace. Now this is the effect. Now you've done that. Now you go over here, the line style, make sure you don't leave it at that format, but leave it at the straight line, the first one, leave it at that first one. Now you've created this. So the next thing we're going to do is to go back to our smart fill tool and click on your smart fill tool, and then you can start filling up parts. So you can do it, maybe you do one, you leave one, you do one, you leave one. Okay, you can just do it, do one, leave one, and you just do it all around till it goes round. Okay, so I'm just going to fast forward these points now. Okay, so we are done, and I'm going to show you why we had to draw that first layer. Now, as usual, we drew that first layer so that whenever we are using our smart fill tool, whatever we are filling, it doesn't extend outside of the margin. Okay, if that layer wasn't there before, it would have extended outside of the margin, and that would have been really, really wrong. So we had to put that so that it can stop the expansion or the extension of the smart fill. So what we are just going to do now is that since we've been able to achieve this, okay, since we've been able to achieve this, we're just going to delete the impact tool. Just select the impact tool and just delete it off. Then we can also delete the background. Just select it, and then okay, we just delete it off. Then we highlight everything, and then we can remove the outline. Okay, remove the outline. We just remove the outline, and the next thing to do is we can give it a color. You can see that we're heading somewhere. So now this is a way you can add your gradients. Okay, in order to properly get our gradient, you can see that everything is singular, so you just highlight everything, and once you've highlighted everything, you weld. And once you welded, you go over to your smart fill tool, okay, and then you apply your gradient. So we're just going to go with something blue, because that is what we'll be using for the next effect we'll be working with. So just maybe let's just work with something blue. So let's just work with something blue. This will take maybe cyan, and the outer part will maybe take a darker shade of blue, something like this. Okay, I think this is cool. So now we've been able to get our sunburst effect, or I call it the wormhole or the hypnotic effect, anyone you want to call it. Hypnotic effect, wormhole effect, sunburst, it doesn't matter, but you get the point. Now you've seen how you can easily achieve this effect on CorelDRAW. So now we'll be going over to the next one, which is I'll be creating a new page for that, and this particular effect is the biometric fingerprint effect, or the fingerprint biometric effect, how to create it in CorelDRAW. So we're going to go to our ellipse tool, and then okay, we'll go over to our ellipse because we're working with a lot of shapes today. So we create a circle, holding our control to just easily create a simple circle. Then you arc it, or you press the arc. Then you don't end there. Then you change the direction of the arc by using this other one. Okay, change direction of the arc. Then when that is done, you just bring it to the middle. Then the next thing to do is to go to your contour tool, which is under your shadow tool. You go to your contour tool, and then you drag out. Now you're going to be able to achieve this. Now one thing you need to note is yours might not appear like this. Now mine will appear like this because I've done it before, but yours might not appear like this. So there's a possibility that it won't be rounded when you do yours. Now that is because when you go over here, there's a possibility yours will appear like this when you've done it. When you do yours for the first time, possibly there's a possibility yours will appear like this. So make sure you go over to your, make sure to achieve like the rounded corners that I had before. The next thing to do is to go over to your contour corners and change it to rounded or to round corners. Then you'll be able to achieve this. Now the next thing you're going to do is to right click, and then you break contour apart. Now once you've broken contour apart, you draw a circle over it. But before we do that, before we draw a circle over it, let's group everything together. Ctrl G to group. Then you draw a circle above it. So now you've drawn a circle above it. Okay, let's just position this circle properly. Let's extend it a little and position it this way. So you select now your circle is selected. Holding your shift key, you select the contour stuff we've done. Then you go over to intersect. you go over to Intersect and you intersect it. Now you select the outer part and then you press delete. Then you can also remove the circle. Just remove the circle. Let's put it aside for now. Then we'll bring it to the middle. We enlarge it a little. Then we increase the outline weight. So 16. Let's make it 20. Okay, this is cool. So now the next thing to do is to ungroup. You can right click. Okay, right click and ungroup all. So now you've done that. The next thing to do is you go back to your shape tool. Now when you click on shape, you see this is appearing. So you now press Ctrl A to highlight everything. Okay. Now we have to delete this circle first, so we don't highlight it. Highlight it together. You hold your Shift key, then press your Ctrl A, so that these add nodes will appear. Now before, if you notice, when we highlighted everything and press our shape tool, you see the add nodes were not activated. But the moment you press Ctrl A, you see the add nodes is highlighted. Now you can add nodes, which are those red dots. You can add nodes. So you just keep adding nodes till probably, let's say you get something like this. Then you come over here and you break curve. Okay, you click on break curve. Now it's going to appear like this. Then you go over to your crop tool, but no, we are going to be using the virtual segment delete. So once you do that, you start deleting some parts like this, easy peasy. And then you can get this effect, something like this. So now the next part, to give you the real fingerprint biometric scanner, just position your virtual segment along the lines, and you can start tapping on it and you can start deleting. Okay, so now that you've gotten the trick on how to do this, I'm just going to fast forward this part also so that we can get right to it. Okay, so now we've been able to achieve this, and you can see that now it really feels like a fingerprint biometric scanner. So the next thing to do is you highlight everything, then you go over to, now everything is highlighted, we need to add gradient. So you highlight everything, then you go over to objects. When you highlight, you weld, but when you're welding like this, it won't work. So you undo, go over to objects, then you convert outline to object. And once you've converted outline to object, now you can weld. Once you've welded, you can go over to your smart fill and you apply a gradient. So we're going to use the same blue, whatever we did with the sunburst. Okay. Then for the outer part, we use a darker shade of blue. Let's just say something like this. Okay, this is it. So this is how you can easily create a fingerprint scanner effect, logo, whatever you want to do on CorelDRAW. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that, as this helps us to grow. Also, if you've learned a lot in this tutorial video, please share this video with other creatives so that they can learn as you have learned. Okay, so until the next time, I'll catch you guys in my next tutorial video. Stay safe and stay healthy, and if you want to increase your skills in graphic design, logo design, or brand identity design, click on any of the videos showing up on your screen, or you could check out other videos on our YouTube channel. So see you guys in my next tutorial video. Take care and be creative. Namaste.